Testing, testing. Clinton Jaws, guys. Settle down. Clinton Jaws. There's a website out there called clintonjaws.com. There's also another one called thegoldenbadge.com. You're retired, current member, you get one of those. I was just thinking when I was watching this, I was listening to the song and I was, oh man. Remember dancing? Remember when you could dance? I'm a terrible dancer. Yeah, actually, that's not true. I used to be an all right, girls wanted to dance with me when I was younger. It's funny how you start these things. You never know what's going to come out of your mouth. And I don't know if I should tell the story because I don't want the wife watching it. Because she's heard the story. I guess I can't wait to dance. And, okay, I'll tell the story. Should I tell it? I just finished graduation, okay? I just graduated from high school. And there was the hottest girl in Port Alberni. The hottest. What name are we going to give her? I'm not going to say her real name. What's a hot girl name? Nancy? No. Melissa? No. Can't use those. What's a hot? Nadia? But I've used that before. Nadia's let's call her Nadia, okay? Unless I could think of Candy. How about Candy? Candy. Her name was Candy. And I'm at the BB's. I'm at the Barclay in Port Alberni because that's where I grew up, right? I grew up in Port Alberni. And she's there, and me and Shane are just like, oh my God, look at that. She's like $1 million. And I go up to her and I ask her to dance. I don't really remember how we started dancing. I think I just grabbed onto her. I don't know. Because I had no guts. I had no game. And we started dancing to Moni Moni. And I swear to God. And in that part, where you sing. And I'm spinning around. And then that part comes on. And she's looking at me and she's like, hey, mother, get laid. Oh my God, I fell in love. Anyway, she told a friend who later told me that it was really nice to dance with a guy that is into it, that is a good dancer. So I found out from somebody else that she had a good time on the dance floor with me. We're at Dan's house, all of my buddies, right? And I start telling them about, what's her name again? Candy. And what the hell is his name? Chris. No. Kevin. Kevin looks at me and goes, give me a break, man. You think you can wheel that? Not happening. Laughed in my face. Like I even had a chance. So my parents go to Mexico. I'm home alone. I got a hot tub there. Not that I ever used the hot tub. And I open up the phone book. And I call. Her dad answers. And I said, hey, sir, I didn't say sir. It's Clint. Is Candy home? No. And I said, well, okay, here's my name. Here's my number. When she comes home, can you tell her to give me a call, please? And sure as she called me. She called me, and I was so nervous talking to her on her phone. I think I had notes just in case she called. And I said, hey, would you like to come over for dinner at my parents' house? And she came over. I went to a restaurant. She came over at 6. I went to a restaurant at 4. And I said, I need a specific, I need poached chicken. I need a specific menu. She eats healthy. I'm not going to cook the dinner. But when she got there, I put it all on the stove, making as though that I cooked it. And yeah, the dinner went terrible. I'm sorry to say. It went terrible. I ran the pool table on her. Poured the last bit of wine in my glass, and I said, oh my God, we finished the wine. She says, you drank it all. So that wasn't good because I was so nervous. I had to drink the wine. Anyway, so we're back at Dan's a couple weeks later. I didn't let them know that. I told them that it was a great evening. But Kevin's there. And I look at him. I go, oh, hey, I had Candy over for dinner. You know what he says? Oh, she's cute. That's all he says. I thought, you little son of a... That's my story. The old days, right? Like the regrets. God, you must have regrets. Got so many of them. I don't know if I should have told that story. To be honest with you, I don't know if I should have told it. But I did. And I'm upstairs. Oh, God. Back to reality. I'm upstairs. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I can't smell. I've got no sense of smell. I don't know when it started. I have no memory of smell, really. I'm not going to get into it, but there was a pretty big accident that I was involved in at one point in my life. I'm watching a podcast the other day, and this guy on the podcast is saying he doesn't smell because he's got brain damage. And I thought, is that what happened to me? Because there's been a few times where, yeah, I'm looking like the amount of impact that I've had on my head could have easily caused brain damage, allowing me not to smell. And it kind of made me excited. Like, I'm not going to say this right, but if somebody told me, Clinton, you got brain damage, that's why you can't smell, I would love that. I would love to have brain damage because that means all these years I had brain damage. And every time I screwed up and acted like an idiot, I could just say it was the brain damage. Even now, if I go and do something stupid, if I flub up, I could just blame it on the brain damage. Like those people that you arrest, right? Crown won't go with the charge because they're mentally ill. You know what I mean? That wouldn't be so bad. Anyway, so I can't smell. I'm upstairs, and I bought some chicken at Walmart. It's half price. Instead of 18, it was 9. And it expires in 2 days. And there's one piece of chicken in there. It was chicken wings. There's one piece of chicken in there that doesn't look too appetizing. And I'm like, is this rotten? I don't know. How do you tell, right? I can't smell. The wife's walking by. And I said, what do you think about that chicken wing? She's like, I don't know. It doesn't look too good. I said, hold on. I pull it out. And I got her to smell it. She smells it, annoyingly smells it, and goes, don't ever ask me to smell raw chicken again. Like, am I putting you out? Is that, like, what am I supposed to do? Okay? I'm disabled. I can't smell. Don't ever ask me to smell. Then who do I ask? How do I find out? Like, would it kill you to help a little? And I'm not saying it to be funny. What's the big deal? That's my story. I'm going to take a couple of calls today, and then I got to go upstairs and visit with everybody. But I want to tell you guys something. I was thinking about something the other day. I was thinking about marijuana. I was thinking about marijuana, and what always pops in my head is that guy who was in the Red Surge. He was an RCMP member, and he had to give up his Red Surge and his boots and everything because he smoked marijuana. He was on the news. It was a really gross segment. He's crying his eyes out. The RCMP showed up, and they took his stuff away. This is what boggles my mind. Marijuana is legal now. It's legal. But it's not legal for RCMP members. RCMP members are forbidden to smoke marijuana. Even though it's legal. You could smoke it, but you can't work for 28 days, something like that, okay? Which means you can't smoke marijuana. Other police forces, you could smoke it. Vancouver, police force, you could smoke it. And I'm like, who's running the outfit? What do you mean? RCMP members can't smoke it. And it's just a rant I want to go on. And it's really, I'm talking to civilians and cops. Civilians. You have no idea how much freedom you have. You have no idea how lucky you are to be civilian. I'm happy I retired. There were so many rules I had to follow. Now I'm civilian. When people ask me, what do you identify as? Civilian. It feels good. I'm free. I don't have to listen to those rules anymore. And when I think about RCMP members that can't smoke marijuana, really? I think we'd all agree that that is one group that should be smoking it, vaping it during their lunch break. Believe me when I tell you, when a cop comes to your call, you want them high as fuck. You know how many issues that would solve? I remember being a cop, and I remember being so serious. Never laughing. Or I would laugh, but you could never tell that I was laughing because it was so silent. You know what I mean? I got to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this. And I don't want you guys to judge me because it's really strange for a person that was dead against marijuana to all of a sudden smoke, and I don't smoke it a lot. And I know I've already said this before. I'm going to say it again, though. After retirement, I got a bunch of friends over, okay? We're sitting on the porch, and they're passing the joint around in a circle, right? And it's coming to me. And it comes to me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give her. And I did. I took 2 puffs. 2 puffs. Walked into my bathroom and flossed the same tooth for 10 minutes. I was paranoid I had gingivitis. I looked down, I looked like I murdered a nest of daddy longlegs. The wife busts in to the bathroom. Will you hurry up? We got company. And honest to God, I'm like, company? You mean today is still today? And not tomorrow? How is it still yesterday? Don't tell me it's not a gateway drug. I'm eating it. Drinking it. My parents are moisturizing their skin with it. It's hard to wrap my head around that it's legal now because it was all through my career. It was the devil. It was evil. Even when I was growing up, it was, hide it. They're coming. Get rid of it. Do something with it. You guys, civilians, used to stick it up your asses. I know this. I was the one seizing it. I would hunt you down, arrest you, seize your weed, and throw you in jail, depending on your skin color. And now Canada Post is my drug dealer. I remember the first time that, I swear to God, I'm looking out the front window. Canada Post shows up, crosses my grass with a big box. I know it's drugs. I run down, I open up the door. I'm like, get in here. Just put it down there on the land. She puts it down on the landing. She's like, is that sheets? She thought it was sheets. She didn't even know she was trafficking marijuana. Anyways, don't smoke it all the time. When I do, I love it. It's cured my soft giggles. Anyways, I just wanted to share that with you. I don't understand why it's illegal for RCMP members. It makes no sense whatsoever. It's almost like we want to control you somehow. Or tradition. I don't know. How can it be tradition? You're allowed to wear beards now. So it can't be that. They got rid of the tie. You can look disheveled, hairy. So it can't be that. Can somebody tell me what it is? Let's take a call.
Hey, Clint. Fan of the channel here. Been watching it through my application process and subscribed to, don't worry. And
Thank you.
I got my...
Hey, you know what? Guys, give me a call, 604-330-2512, and subscribe. That's the only thing I care about.
And I got my depot date. I'm going to depot soon.
That's awesome. How exciting is that?
And I was just calling today asking for any general tips, first impressions that I could use when I go to, not look like an ass and fit in well with my troop and instructor.
Not look like an ass and fit in with your troop. Pretend that you're somebody else, okay? You know your faults. Now get rid of them. I was a cocky guy, and I got rid of that cockiness. Somewhat I did. So find out what your faults are and promise yourself that you're not going to do them. Just get along with these people because they will tell on you, okay? So keep it together. Don't cause attention to yourself. You don't want people knowing who you are. You don't really want those instructors knowing who you are. If it was me, I wouldn't be showing up in a beard. I'd be showing up clean shaven. When you're in drill, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. But if I'm the drill instructor, I'm picking on the guy with the beard, the silly beard. I know a lot of people love him and girls love him and they look hunky, and I'm just not a fan of cops and beards. A few people have sent me pictures, and you guys look great. You look great, okay? But I'm going to make fun of the beard a little bit because I'm not used to it. Because I'm old school. But it's strange for me to see recruits at depot with beards and long hair. Like, we used to get in trouble if we had long hair. Don't stand out. How about that?
Also, I just finished your most recent video, and I think I speak for a lot of people when I ask that you release the full 7 seconds of the pair testing. I think we'd love to see that. Anyway, thanks a lot, Clint. I appreciate any advice or tips you have. Have a good night.
Thanks, dude. You'll do good. I can just tell it in your voice. And no, I can't release those 7 seconds of that pair test that I tried to do for you. I did 4 controlled falls in my living room, and after I reviewed the videotape, honestly, never have I looked so uncool. And like I said before, I knocked things over when I did my first fall. And honestly, I hit so hard that I knocked the air out of my entire system, my little body. Wow, I'm old. I still did it in 8 seconds, though.
Jaws. Just wondering why you labeled 2 of your podcasts number 89. I thought you were the kind of guy who likes to pad his stats, not hold back or retard his stats. Anyways, just wondering why that is. Thanks. Bye.
No, thank you. And thank you for telling me that because I didn't know I had done that. What I did was I labeled 2 episodes the same number because I'm an idiot. Okay. And when you told me that, I searched for 20 minutes. Finally found what you seen. And if you guys see something that doesn't look right, I'm the only one running this thing. Give me a call and let me know, and I appreciate it. And pad my stats. I don't know. I wanted to look like number 1. But I would only go so far. I would do the most bar checks, because bar checks are fun, going into a bar and talking to people. Or foot patrols. They're easy, the most foot patrols. Or curfew checks. I guess I did it to, I don't know. I wanted to look good. I wanted to look good. But I would never look good because I wouldn't write traffic tickets. I never wrote a speeding ticket. They hated me for it. I'd write warnings. So at the end of the day, I don't know what my point is. I wanted our watch to win, but I wanted to win the easy stuff like Not that probation checks are not easy. I take that back. Bar checks, foot patrols, I didn't have to do any of them, but I did them because the detachment wanted me to do it. But there's some things. There's nothing wrong with writing a warning. My aunt, I don't know, she was 65, 70. Clear record. A cop pulls her over. She doesn't have her driver's license. It's at home in a coat hanging up in the closet. He writes a ticket. No deal. Doesn't have it with her. Why? What's the point of that? A stat. Those stats, those are the ones I was never interested in when it came to hurting people for no reason. Now, I understand, yes, it's important for cops to punish people that have a record that is insane. We don't want them to have a driver's license. We want the streets to be safe. And I got nothing against traffic members at all. The job they do is dangerous. It's hard. It's not fun. Although I had, when I started in when I started in Duncan, I went on a rotation with Highway Patrol. You know what the cop said to me? Clint, I am the happiest when I'm writing a ticket. And I'm like, you're a sicko. You're a sick man. Because I remember driving with my parents. We got no money. The cops pull us over and they're going to write us a ticket. My mom starts crying. But he's the happiest. And I'm going to tell that story about that cop one day. And wow, I went off there, didn't I?
Hey, Clint, I absolutely love the show.
Oh,
You're
thanks.
Hilarious.
Oh.
I'm not the kind of guy who would get arrested, but if I had to get arrested, I'd be by someone like you because you'd probably make me laugh.
Laugh softly, maybe.
I was wondering,
what
kind of job experience or life experience would make the RCMP look past mistakes that you'd made in the past? Maybe
the RCMP aren't going to look past anything. It's pretty cut and dried. You got to have good character or not. I don't think. That's my personal opinion. They're not going to be like, oh, you got a degree. Okay. You got 4 DUIs. That's fine. You know what I mean? They're not going to look past stuff like that. It doesn't matter how good you are. If you made mistakes, they're going to call you on it. And they're going to discuss it. It doesn't matter how good your resume is. I don't even know if I said that right. I hope I got my point across.
Look past mistakes that you'd made in the past. Maybe it'd be dabbling with just experimentation, the general experimentation, the questions that you get.
Experimentation is fine, guys. Experiment when you're younger, okay? Yes, you're allowed to do drugs when you're younger. I feel so weird to say that. It used to be that way, and I'm sure it's still that way. But you can't show a problem that you have a dependency on it. And there has to be a big gap, a large gap, from the time you've done it and then the time you apply.
And when you're admitting to these things in your interview, what demeanor should you have? A humorous demeanor or a demeanor that would be...
No giggles. No, not humorous. Never.
Not humorous in the sense that it's like you're not taking it seriously, but in the sense that it's like, it's past you now.
No, you take it seriously, no matter what. I remember when I was taking my doing my interview, and I'll never forget it. After the first part of the interview, she goes, okay, go sit in the hall now. So I sat in a hall. I thought the interview was over. And when I went back in, you know what she says to me? Okay, now we're going to start the second half of the interview. And I'm like, what? I've been here for 3 hours. There's another part of the interview? And then she goes like this. She changed. Her demeanor changed to serious. And I'll never forget it. It scared the hell out of me. She went like this. Have you ever smoked marijuana? And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, I have. I hate to say that I have, but it was in grade 11 and da-da-da. And I didn't really know what it was. I was told it was, stuff like that. Yeah. Be serious.
Anywho, I love the show.
Don't ever say anywho again, okay?
Hopefully one day I'll find myself in the Red Surge.
Red jersey.
I'm happy to see that there's someone on YouTube that's from BC. I'm from Vancouver myself. Absolutely hilarious. Your attitude, your demeanor, everything about you. Absolutely. I can't, whenever you're on, I just can't turn my eyes away.
Oh, wow.
Have a good night, day, or whenever you receive this. Bye.
Absolutely hilarious. Oh. It's so funny. People always thought that you were kidding with them. Horrific snowmobile accident up at Mount Washington. An entire family was killed. And except for the mom, she was at home baking Christmas cookies. I go to her house. I was first on scene to tell her the news. You're hilarious. Oh, that's so terrible. And I'm like, ma'am, I think I'm just naturally funny. So when you say that, it reminds me of that stuff. You should take your show on the road. That's awful. Sometimes you got to deal with those things with a little bit of internal humor, even if you don't think it's funny. And you know what? I'm going to edit all that part out because that didn't even come across right. So let's now edit that part out. And now I'll say, thanks, dude. I don't think I'm all that funny. I'm glad you think I'm funny. I'm glad you think I'm hilarious. And yeah, and I got to stop saying "and." Remember that? And. Are we done? Was that it? I got to go. I got to go upstairs. The wife, what's funny? The wife wants to have a fire, but it just started raining. And that's pretty sick that I want it to continue to rain. I don't want to have a fire. Thanks, guys. Subscribe to my channel. Bye-bye. What's that? I remember writing a guy up. What the hell? It was no insurance. I did write tickets, okay? I didn't write too many. He thought I wrote him a joke, okay? Is this a joke? I'm like, no. It's a violation ticket. This is such a joke. No, sir. It's a violation ticket for no insurance. You're a joke. Not even trying to be funny. The husband had taken the boots to her. And I take a statement from her and I go over to the husband's house. And he's like, my wife told you that I beat her? That's funny. I'm like, sir, I'm not trying to be funny, okay? That's the funniest thing I ever heard.